Welcome to Betting Around the World. I'm Elise, here with Emma, a sports photographer for the New England Patriots, and Daniel, a soccer analyst. Today we are going to be talking about sports betting, what the effects are when you get too invested in it. Disclaimer, we do not participate in any of these activities. We are here to provide information and our thoughts only. Starting off, sports betting is the act of placing money on a certain player to win, or even team. It can be as simple as who you think's going to win a game or who you think's going to make the first goal in a soccer match. Make sure you look up the age you are able to gamble in your state. The United States only allows 38 states to participate in this activity. In 2024, 181.9 million people participated in sports betting around the world. So to get my guess information, what are some of the most popular sports to bet on in the United States and Colombia, and why is it so big?
In the United States, the most popular sport to bet on is definitely football. For the entire season, it is estimated to take in about $30 to $35 billion in bets, just money from anything, whether it's betting on teams, betting on players, making your own fantasy teams, whatever it is. And for the Super Bowl, it's estimated to take in close to about $1 billion, if not more, just for the Super Bowl. That's betting on who's going to win, before the Patriots and the Seahawks ended up being the two finalists. It was people who were betting on who they think was going to win or who they think was actually going to go to the Super Bowl. It's definitely one of the most followed sports and most followed events in the U.S. during any sports season is the Super Bowl. It's one of the biggest.
In Colombia, soccer is the most popular sport to bet and gamble on. It is so popular because it's the sport that people love and know the most. Also, it is very important to Colombian culture. You can see everywhere that people are watching, listening through TV, radio, and social media. Um, uh, Many people follow soccer uh, teams. Also, betting is also legal and easy to access to everyone. You also have to be 18, but it's very easy to gamble. The most common used sites in internet is BetPlay. That is the biggest one because it is the sponsor of this professional soccer league. Also WPlay and RushBet. And the estimate annually of money placed in bets is about $20 billion. So it's very, very big.
I was just going to say, too, for the U.S., it was just about little under or over 10 years ago, the betting in the U.S. wasn't legalized in every state. It wasn't something that you could do legally. And it just recently, in 2018, became legal in almost every state to bet. So it opened up a lot more opportunities for people to place their bets rather than just one state.
That was some great information and great facts from you guys. I do have to say, the first sport to ever be bet on in the United States was horse racing, with over $125 billion spent on it, and now it's one of the least bet on in the United States. But with all of these numbers, we have to wonder what can happen when you get too addicted to betting.
Well, besides the chances that you completely go broke or in very heavy debt, it's very mentally draining. So is really any addiction, but especially with gambling, it's not as much as you're hurting yourself physically, it's you're hurting yourself mentally. You just become addicted to the feeling of winning, or you become depressed from the feeling of losing, and it's just something that really just takes over your mind. You feel like a constant need to gamble, a constant need to have that satisfaction from wagering, and there are people who they get so addicted to gambling and betting that they'll really bet on anything no matter what the wager is.
Gambling addiction can also affect many other parts, like for example, relationships can broke the trust with your family and friends. uh, many people start to lie or hide their behavior, uh, and also it can interfere with work or school, causing poor concentration, missed responsibilities, and lower performance.
If you do end up having a problem with gambling, there is a hotline you can call that is a national problem gambling helpline. The number is 800-522-4700. To continue on, do you know anyone who bets on sports? And if so, what is the most popular one that they bet on?
I definitely know a lot of people. I grew up with a lot of sports betting, not as much, the gambling part of it. None of my family really has like a gambling addiction, or they head to the casinos or something like that. But my dad definitely has probably hundreds of fantasy teams, whether it's for baseball, football, NFL, football, hockey, anything like that. He would make accounts for me and my brother to pick our own players when we were kids, and he would run them for himself, not really betting money on them, but just to show us how it worked. And definitely one of the reasons I loved sports so much and found it so interesting. I have a lot of family members who they do like pools and charts and stuff during the Super Bowl, and you can bet $5 or $1 and you can win however much. And for us, it's more of just like a fun thing. My dad definitely takes it a lot more seriously. He's very into it, and my brother's starting to get into it too. But I just kind of like to watch and to hear how much money he likes to lose, because that seems to be what happens.
Yeah. Also, like Emma, I grew up in a very commonly gambling sports. So my family, I have cousins. Actually, one of my cousins had a problem with gambling addiction, but he's now okay. So that's good. And yeah, like my family, my friends in Colombia and in Miami, where I currently live. So it's very very commonly. Unfortunately, I cannot bet because I make part of um, team sports in Houston. So uh, athletes cannot gamble. So yeah.
That is all we have time for today on Betting Around the World. I want to say thank you all for watching, and thank you to Emma and Daniel for participating. Again, if you ever seek a problem with gambling, please call the hotline. It is 800-522-4700. Thank you.